Hi, my name is Sindoni. Welcome to the final edition of He Walked the Americas. The stories in this series are from a book written by L. Taylor Hansen. The stories I have shared with you of a saintly white teacher whose hands perform miracles of healing and whose strange eyes, gray-green as the ocean, look down the vistas of the future are still whispered by the storytellers of 100 nations. His symbol is woven into blankets, carved upon the walls of canyons, burned into pottery, danced in dances. His name is given to rushing rivers, tall white mountains, sacred forests, springs of never-ending water, strong as his tale of the ancient Americas. The Pawnee remembered the prophet who came and taught them of his father, the mighty holy of the heavens. He told them not to forsake his precepts and gave them the traditional chant known today as the Golden Rule. Do not kill or injure your neighbor, for it is not he that you injure yourself. Do good to him, thus adding to his days of happiness, even as you then add to your own. Do not wrong or hate your neighbor, for it is not he that you wrong yourself. Rather love him, for the Great Spirit loves him, even as he loves you. The Algonquin of the eastern seaboard, when asked how they got their name for the dawn light, they say it was the name of the Pale One. They would not give him their own name, as he had asked them, for to him names meant nothing, and he allowed each tribe to name him. They asked him instead his name in childhood when he lived across the ocean. The name he gave them was a strange one, hard to say in their liquid language, so today they try hard to say it, Chizos, God of the dawn light. The Algonquin of the Great Lakes remember well the pale great master. The Chippewas say he gave them many medicine lodges whose signs and symbols are secret, fashioned from those across the ocean, and even today they hold this secret knowledge. The Dakota, they of the Turtle Totem, leading north the lines of serpents in their age-old migration, recall in long-lost adoration the sacred name of the pale-faced healer. It was long ago that we knew him. He gave to us our rite of baptism, many of our lodges, and our rites of purification. When he came to us, the days were warmer, the sun cast down shorter shadows. Well do we remember how he foretold the coming of white man and other predictions. We have backslid from his teachings, but to him we danced the Sundance. We remember Great Wakona well. In this series I have shared the travel route of the prophet as he moved from South America up the Mississippi and by rivers throughout the eastern states, and from Michigan, where he went to Canada, and from there to the Pacific coast, moving from there to the Pacific tribes by way of the Grand Canyon and Havasupai. He went to the Pueblos and then down to Chichihuahua Valley, to Tula, and later Chachula. And then the prophet sailed with the merchants to South America. Returning, he left for the Mayan Empire and finally departed from Cozumel Island by ship for an island lying toward the sunrise over the sea. So who was this saintly man who traveled the Americas? It is the opinion of the present writer that Quetzal must have been in the scene. Since the opening of the Dead Sea Scrolls, we have come to know a great deal about this religious order of which Jesus was supposed to have been a member. We know now that he favored a white toga-like garment, wore no coverings on their heads, and also spoke of God as my Father. For those of you who have been watching and following this series and want to know more, I strongly recommend that you read the book He Walked the Americas. There you'll find many more stories that I have not shared with you in this series. In closing, a special thank you goes out to the author, L. Taylor Hansen, for these thought-provoking stories. To Elaine Beam, one whose warm friendship and understanding had followed the author and the building of this book legend by legend through study, interview, and travel for over 30 years. And to Lord Kingsborough, who gave his fortune and finally his life to the legend as he died in a debtor's prison. Also to the brave medicine man of the Serai, who was blinded for telling the legend of the healer without the permission of the tribe. Did Jesus walk in the Americas? There is strong evidence to support the fact that he did. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. He walked the Americas.